Counselor, alarming communication from Kunis. The Russians have launched a massive assault across the river, supported by airstrikes and a heavy artillery barrage. The Lithuanian forces have lost their cohesion, and our troops were forced to retreat.
Numidas River is our last line of defense. If the Russians cross it, it's over. We lose the Baltic states, and who knows where they will stop. Order a counterattack immediately.
Sir, our troops have already had their asses handed to them by the artillery. If they attack, they won't last an hour. The Russians have committed everything they have to this assault.
Exactly. And it is time to turn this disaster into a golden opportunity. We have one last chance to stop them, and I need a distraction for the Russians. Order the counterattack.
But I don't understand. What's the point? Without any reinforcements coming, this is a useless sacrifice.
Stop contesting my orders, Williams. I've brought you up to this position. I can bring you all the way down if I want. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're losing this war. So I hope I don't have to justify myself every minute over the death of a few hundred soldiers. Order the counterattack now!
No! I refuse to participate in this slaughter if you don't tell me what's going on first.
I see. Well, look. There is a dam overlooking the city holding 500 million cubic meters of water. So if this dam happened to be destroyed, the entire valley would be flooded. All the pontoons, bridges, and all the Russian troops and their equipment massed for the assault would be washed away. This would also create an uncrossable natural barrier for weeks, if not months to come, giving us time to reorganize our defense and save us from a humiliating defeat.
Counselor Miller, the situation is critical. The remaining Lithuanians require our immediate assistance.
There is nothing we can do for them. You would only be delaying the inevitable. We need to focus on the dam. The Green Light team carrying the nuclear device should arrive at any moment. Progress toward the dam. We'll divert enemy attention to give them a clear route.
I refuse to use the Lithuanians as a meat shield just to save a few of our own. Look, Commander! Friendly forces are arriving from the west!
Reinforcements.
This is General Bennett to all friendly forces. Watch your fire. We're arriving from Klaipeda. Do you copy?
General, thank God you're here!
I was worried I'd missed the fight. I hauled USMC armor all the way from Klaipeda, moving at a forced pace to catch up. Link up with me. Together, we have a chance to stop this assault.
Negative, General. Maintain your position. Stay away from the river. We are going to blow up the dam and drown the whole valley, Russians included.
You realize half this city lies in that valley, don't you?
Believe me, if there were another credible alternative, I would take it. And a few more of our tanks won't change the situation. Final warning, Commander. That goes for you as well, Williams. Your orders are clear. Advance towards the dam!
Apologies, Counselor Miller, but you're just an advisor here. The commander doesn't take orders from you.
You're going to regret that, Williams. Crossing me comes with a price. Just ask the General how steep it can be.
Yes, yes, yes. All the lovely threats in the world. Let's do this. I wonder what your plan is, General Bennett.
There you are. Good. Now let's win this battle my way. First, we need to reform a cohesive defensive line. Williams, maintain your positions. Rally as many retreating units as possible and prevent any additional enemy amphibious crossings. Meanwhile, we need to regain control of those bridges, Commander. Instruments are all still heavy armor is ready to roll. M1 Abrams warmed up and ready to go. I want all firepower.
Oh, that worked. Huh.
Standing by. M1 Abrams here. was a 4th of July show they'll never forget.
We did it, Commander! Enemy troops are starting to retreat. Green light team, this is Lieutenant Colonel Williams. Abort the mission. The city is ours. I repeat, abort the mission.
Understood. We cancel the army procedure and wrap up the device.
After this, Miller can piss off and let us be.
You clearly don't know the man. He'll never forgive you for standing up to him, and he'll make you pay. But you did the right thing, and I'm proud of you.
After less than a month of conflict, this war that doesn't want to be called a war has already taken a heavy toll on its belligerents. In Moscow, as in Washington, and throughout all of Europe, demonstrations for peace are being organized, bringing together hundreds of thousands of people. Special diplomatic envoy Miller, mandated by Washington to find a way out of this conflict, spoke today after talks in Saudi Arabia with his Russian counterparts. Let's hear him speak.
First of all, I'd like to thank my Russian counterparts for their cooperation during the negotiations. We have succeeded in agreeing on an immediate ceasefire, which will take effect tonight at midnight Moscow time. During the ceasefire, a status quo antebellum will be established. Russian troops in the Baltic states will withdraw behind the Russian and Belarusian borders, while American troops will do the same in the Kaliningrad Oblast. As a sign of appeasement, we also wanted to ensure that those responsible for this conflict would be brought to justice in their respective countries. General Bennett and his aide-de-camp, Lieutenant Colonel Williams, have already been relieved of their duties and are waiting trial by court-martial. On the Russian side, the SVR agent Elena Morozova is expected to serve a prison sentence in an Arctic penal colony. We welcome the outcome of these negotiations and announce the progressive withdrawal of the majority of our troops from Europe, leaving the newly created European Army the task to ensure stability in the region, while our troops will be redeployed to the Pacific to meet the growing security threats in that part of the world.
Commander, think about it. Yes, we are outnumbered, but there's no need for such extreme measures. If we combine our forces, we could at least contain the attack.
And for how long, General? By coming here, you've left our flank exposed. The Russians will soon notice and surround us, so we need to annihilate them now more than ever.
Commander, please listen to me. Don't let their numbers influence you. I fought at the Battle of 73 Easting. We had 36 tanks against more than 150 of theirs, and we won! Move your forces to mine, and together we can beat those Russians, too.
Don't listen to him, Commander. We're not fighting Iraqi T-55s here.
Green light team here. The device is in place and ready to go off. What are your orders?
Initiate the countdown and get the hell out of there, Captain. The bomb's well hidden. No need to sacrifice yourself.
You won't have to repeat it twice. All right, boys. We need to move, as if the hounds of hell were on our backs. 10 minutes left.
Good. Continue to hold your ground, Commander. Poke at them if needed. Make sure they know you're here.
Here they come.
New course set. Joint strike fighter at your command, sir. Flight plan updated. Airstrike complete. Pressing out. Joint strike fighter at your command, sir. Joint strike fighter at your command, sir. Attack vector confirmed. Bombs are ready. Logistics ready. Munitions on target. Nice firework. Copy. Bugging out. Ain't nothing gonna get in our way.
Okay.
Dive attack confirmed. Airstrike complete.
Copy. We're moving in silence.
We got a clear shot.
Bye-bye, Russians.
Chinook, at your command. After less than a month of conflict, this war that doesn't want to be called a war has already taken a heavy toll on its belligerents. Casualties number in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, provoking indignation among civilians who fail to understand the reason for the conflict. In Moscow, as in Washington and throughout all of Europe, demonstrations for peace are being organized, bringing together hundreds of thousands of people. Special diplomatic envoy Miller, mandated by Washington to find a way out of this conflict, spoke today after talks in Saudi Arabia with his Russian counterparts. Let's hear him speak.
In order to avoid a nuclear escalation between our two countries and to stop this appalling bloodbath as soon as possible, we succeeded in agreeing with our Russian counterparts, after bitter negotiations, to the establishment of a demarcation line on the Daugava River between what we will henceforth call the northern and southern Baltic states. It will be the responsibility of the newly formed European Army to enforce this line of demarcation, so American troops can redeploy to the Pacific to meet the growing security threats in this part of the world. As a sign of appeasement, we also wanted to ensure that those responsible for this conflict would be brought to justice in their respective countries. Namely, General Bennett, who has already been relieved of his duties and is awaiting trial by court-martial. Lieutenant Colonel Williams, who distinguished herself during this conflict, will act as interim chief of staff during this transition period. On the Russian side, the SVR agent Elena Morozova is expected to serve a prison sentence in an Arctic penal colony.
Huh.
Riga will be soon fully under our control, and the United States Marines landing in Pernu has been prevented. We are doing great in the north.
But things are not going great in the south, Colonel. The Suwałki Gap is wide open and the Americans are bringing more and more reinforcements from overseas. We need to relocate our troops to the south as soon as possible.
There is one last task at hand before we can do that. The USMC rear base in Estonia was not located in Pernu, leaving only one option, Sahara. This is the last naval air base in the region. Once we control it, the Gulf of Riga will definitely be ours.
It's done. Mission complete.
The air base is ours. The last remaining enemy forces are retreating toward their ships. Don't give them a chance to re-embark. The ships are leaving! Don't let them escape! I'm transferring all our anti-ship missile platforms to your control commander. Iskander, scum of helicopters, Tupolev bombers! Throw everything we've got at them! Sink those ships!
Belay that order, Commander!
What? Why would we do that?
This is part of an agreement we are currently negotiating with the Americans. We're letting their ships leave in exchange for concessions.
This is just a trick! The moment the ships are out of the range, they will go back on their promises. On the contrary, destroying their fleet would strengthen our position.
Your opinion on the matter wasn't requested, Colonel. The order comes from above, so do your duty and stand down.
Well, you know what? I doubt that. It's pretty clear you've had your own agenda for quite a while to pursue your pitiful vengeance against me. I rather think that you're trying to trick me into failure and use me as your scapegoat. Destroy those ships, Commander!
Don't do that, Commander. Following this order would be treason. Don't help this imposter jeopardize our negotiating advantage.
I'm gonna let them go. But I'm ready to blow them the hell up. Let's call some Iskanders. I like how this mission can be like pretty terrible. But anyway. So we got a Wasp class and an Arleigh Burke. Well, no one's fighting anyone.
The ships are escaping! Do something, Commander! Don't tell me you're siding with this manipulative bitch! Yes, I stole her father's memoirs, but that was more than 30 years ago. Life was tough back then. After the fall of the Soviet Union, the country was in chaos. We weren't eating our fill. I needed the money, and people needed heroes and glorious war stories. So everyone was happy with it, including the higher-ups who knew all along. They let it slide because it served a purpose.
The ships are out of range. Thank you for your trust, Commander. Now the world will know who Grigory Demidov really is. And he will pay for it, believe me.